Hi, good afternoon. My name is Daniela Moya, and today we're gonna start with Headway 5, 5th edition, level intermediate. Okay, so this is the unit 1 of our book. Okay, what's your story? Grammar. For grammar, we have information questions, our vocabulary, all about adjectives, our everyday English, making the right noises, the reading, the Anglo brothers, the listening, my closest relative, and the writing, describing a person. Okay, so right here, the story of your past doesn't have to become the story of your life, okay? Now, number one, look at the photos. What stage in life do they represent? Number two, read a quote. Why is the story of someone's past often the story of their lives? How can people stop this happening? Okay, so let's continue. Now let's go to our page 10. Okay, page 10, right here. Grammar information questions. Okay, so let's read and listen to Erica. Come on. Please, everybody, read this part. Okay, and then I'm going to share you the audio. Okay, so it is right here. Okay, so this is Erica's story. Okay, so this is Erica's information. Now, in the point two, guys, I want you to give similar information about yourself to a classmate. Okay, so please write a similar text right here about yourself. Okay, give some similar information. Write it, please. Do not advance if you don't have this information about you. Okay, thank you. Now let's continue in this activity. Okay, match the questions with an answer. Okay, so here we have an example. What does she do? Okay, oh, she's a product quality manager for IKEA. Okay, now how old is she? What she like? What does she look like? What color eyes she has got? How tall is she? What kind of clothes does she wear? What does she like doing? How is she? Okay, so let's relate all these questions with the corresponding um, answers. Okay, now we're going to listen and check. Okay, we're gonna listen and check the answers. Okay, so let's listen. Okay, so after we listened and checked the questions and the answers, let's pass now to the last part on this page. Okay, so you can use the ideas in the box to help. Good fun, very sociable, quite dark, moody, short, straight or curly, a bit shy, quiet, good looking, of medium height, about 1 meter 70, in his mid 30s. Okay, so I want you to investigate the meaning of this. Okay, so please investigate all the meanings of these adjectives. Yes, please. And remember, let's repeat them 3 times in English, 1 time in Spanish. For example, get fun, get fun, get fun. Very sociable, very sociable, very sociable. And investigate the meaning in Spanish, okay? So come on, let's investigate and repeat the vocabulary. Okay, so now let's go to the next page, page 11. Okay, so right here, number 3. Read the questions about Erica's home and underline the correct answer. Okay, so what's your apartment like? It's modern and very comfortable. Okay, so now how big is it? And right here we have 2 possible answers. So, yes, it's pretty big, or about 90 square meters. Which one do you think is the correct one? Please underline the possible answer that you think is the correct one. Okay? Number 3. How many bedrooms are there? Okay? Number 4. What size is the kitchen? Number 5. Which floor is it on? Number 6. Which part of the town is it in? Number 7. How far is it to your work? Okay, so please underline the possible question right there. Okay? And guys and girls, the grammar spot of this page, okay? What, which, whose can be followed by a noun. Okay, so let's find more examples on the page 141. So let's go to the page 141 to check this grammar. Come on, guys. Let's go to page 141. Okay, so here we have the unit number 1. Okay, information questions. Okay, so here we can see it. Okay, what and which can be followed by a noun. What color are your eyes? ¿Qué color son tus ojos? What size shoes do you take? ¿Qué talla de zapatos usas? What sort of music do you like? ¿Qué género musical te gusta? Which part of town do you live in? ¿En qué parte de la ciudad vives? Which way do we go? ¿Qué camino tomamos? Which one do you want? ¿Cuál quieres? Okay? So we use which when there is a limited choice. Okay, like which one? This one or this one? Okay? So now we use what when there is almost unlimited choice. For example, what language do they speak in Brazil? What car do you drive? And sometimes there is no difference. What or which newspaper do you read? What or which channel is the football on? Okay, now whose. Whose can be followed by a noun. For example, whose book is this? ¿De quién es este libro? Whose is this book? Okay, whose book is this or who is this book? Whose is this book? How? How can be followed by an adjective or an adverb? Okay, how tall are you? How big is the hotel? How far is it to the station? How often do you go to the cinema? How long does it take you to get ready? Okay? How can be followed by much or many. Okay? How many rooms are there or how much money do you have? Those are some examples. Okay? So, what? What likes? Ask about permanent nature of people and things. It asks for a general description. Examples. What's Indian food like? Ooh, really tasty. What's Pete like? He's a great guy. Okay, now how? How asks about the present condition of something. This condition can change. Here we have two examples. How's work these days? It's better than last year. Okay? How was the traffic this morning? It was worse than usual. Okay? To ask about the weather, we can use both questions. How's the weather? Or what's the weather like? Okay? Then, how can ask about people, health, and happiness, and can ask for reactions and feelings. How's Pete? He's fine. How's your meal? How's your new job? Okay? So, if you have any doubts, questions, or comments, remember you can write me a text message and I will be totally happy to help you. So now let's go back to the page 11. Let's return to page 11, guys. Okay, so we already checked this. Now let's continue. Okay, so ask and answer about where you live. You can use these ideas. Okay, so what's your flat or house like? It's quite small, but it's good. Okay, so we can use in a modern block, a great view of, enormous, noisy, a balcony, a ground floor in a quiet tree lined road, a tiny garden. So please try to include some of these ideas, please, in your conversation. Okay, and now let's go to the number 5 and complete the questions about Erica's new MacBook. Okay, with a word from below. And here we have an example. So, what makes it? What make is it? It's a MacBook. Okay, so remember we need to use all these words from the box. Okay, so then let's listen and let's practice the questions and answers. Okay, so come on, let's listen. Check. Okay, so then we're going to ask and answer similar questions. Okay, so try to write similar questions and answer them. Okay, so for example, what make is it? It's a Samsung. Okay, you can talk about your laptop, your phone, your tablet. Okay, guys, so now let's go to the next part and the last one. Practice question words. Write one question for these situations. Okay, so here we have an example. Oopsie, just a second, please. Okay, so here we have an example. Do you go to the gym every day, every week, once fortnight? Okay, and the correct question will be how often do you go to the gym? So please make some questions for this, just like in this part. Okay, then if you have any doubt, question, or comment, I will be happy to help you. Remember that, please. So now let's continue on the next page. Vocabulary and speaking, all about adjectives. Okay, so let's read the advertisements. What are they for? Underline all the adjectives, okay? So let's read all this part and let's underline every adjective, okay? Come on. Now, adjectives and nouns that go together. Some adjectives and nouns often go together. For example, wavy hair, stylish clothes, delicious meals. Okay? So, in this part, we're going to match an adjective and a noun. Okay? Sometimes more than one is possible. Okay? So, please do this activity. Relate the adjectives with the nouns. I can give you another example. Fresh vegetables. Okay? So that can be another example. Now, in the part 3, good looking and hardworking are compound adjectives, okay? Find 4 more in the adverbs in 1, okay? So let's go to 1. 1 is this one, okay? So let's go back and do it. Come on, okay? Make more compounds, okay? So now, let's think of nouns to go with adjectives. Can you think of an opposite? Example, behaved children, badly behaved children. Okay? Now, ed and ing adjectives. How do these words end in the adverbs? Interest, tire, thrill, charm. Okay, complete these sentences with one of these adjectives in the correct form. Okay, for example, boring, bored, disappointed, or disappointing. Okay, try to give it the correct ending. Okay. Now, in the number 6, my favorite things. Let's listen to 1.6 audio. Okay, we're gonna listen Tom talking to Sally about his favorite things. Let's listen to it and what do you learn about them? Okay, come on. Okay, guys. So now, what do you learn about them? Okay. Now, please write down the names of the following, okay, a relative friend or a college who is important to you, a city, town, or village that you love, a restaurant with, where you had a memorable meal, a treasured possession, something you will save if your house was on fire. Okay, so please write that. Thank you. Okay, remember, do not advance if you don't have these activities done. Okay, here we have an example like who's Ricardo? Um, why is he important to you? Where is the restaurant? Okay, so come on, guys. Let's continue now. Okay, now a personality quiz. Okay, so let's look quickly at the word puzzle and find four adjectives. Do they really describe you? Come on, look for four adjectives, please. And these adjectives describes you. They describe you. Okay, now let's go quickly to number 9. Do the quiz and find out what kind of person you really are. Okay, write a Y for yes or an N for no and an S for sometimes. Go through your answers with a partner. Are you similar or different? Come on, so answer please these 16 questions. Okay, come on. If you have a doubt, a question, or a comment with maybe the meaning of some questions, you can contact me, okay? Come on, guys. Then, when you finish that activity, let's go to the number 10 and match the adjectives below with the questions in the quiz. Okay? For example, reliable is the number 8. Reliable. Okay? What are the opposite of these adjectives? Example, reliable, unreliable, moody, easygoing. Okay? Okay, so then we're going to listen to the audio 1.7. Listen to 5 people after each say which adjectives or opposite from number 10 describe the people. Okay, right here. Okay, so how can you describe these people? Come on. Please write the adjectives that you think that describe these people. Okay? Remember, don't advance if you don't have all this finished. Please. So let's continue. Now, on the page 14, reading and speaking. What's their story? Look at the photograph of the Angelo brothers and read the title, Subheading. Okay, so here we have it. The Angelo brothers, the weirdest brothers in the world, imprisoned for years by their father in a tiny Manhattan apartment in New York. Their only contact with the world was watching films. Now they're in one. Okay? So please read this. Read this article. Okay? Come on, let's read it. And after reading it, please answer to these questions. Why are they weird? Describe what they look like. What age and nationality do you think they are? What kind of films do you think influenced the way they look? Why do you think they're called the wolf pack? Okay, so please answer those questions. Then, for the activity number 2, read and listen to the first part of the article. Answer the questions. Okay, so we already read it. Who are the other members of the family? What did you learn about them? Explain this sentence, guys. Watching films wasn't just an escape from the outside world. It was their world. Why? Can you explain this, please? Which film tells the story of their lives? What or who do these adjectives refer to? Astonishing, cool, dark, eccentric, messy, overcrowd, reclusive, trailing, tyrannical. Okay, read the rest of the article. Are these statements about the family true or false? We're gonna take for true or cross for false ones. And then let's correct them. Let's correct the false ones. Okay? What do you think? This is for you guys, this part. What do you think? Why do you think Oscar raised his sons the way he did? Do you think the boys suffered as a result of their upbringing? Can you think of any advantage? Why do you think the youngest boys have changed their names? How does this connect to the quote on page 9? How do you think their upbringing will influence the way they bring up their children if they have them. Okay? Remember, do not advance, guys, if you don't have this done. Okay? So, this is the rest of the article. So, please read it all. Thank you. Okay, so listening and speaking. My closest relative. Okay, so for number one, discuss the statements in small groups. Are they true for your family? Okay. Mothers feel closer to their sons. Fathers feel closer to their daughters. The firstborn child is ambitious, responsible, dominant, and insecure. The second child is free, independent, creative, and easygoing. The last born child is the baby. Spoiled, happy, confident, and secure. Okay? So now, in the second part, let's listen to four people talking about who they feel closest to in their family. And then complete the chart with the relationship. And then tick and cross. Okay? So here we have a one, two, three, four family members. We have Tess, Simon, Ellie, and Nick. So Tess feel closest to the sister. Okay, so come on, let's listen to this audio and complete this chart, please. Okay, guys. So then, after finishing this chart, okay, so you can listen it again. Who says these phrases? Okay, so let's listen it again after each person explain your answers in the chart, okay? So, who said these phrases? About who? Who they mean? Number one, I don't realize, see eye to eye about anything. She drives me like, she drives me crazy sometimes. We have our ups and downs. Those two often fight like a cat and dog. Okay, guys, so please tell me who said each thing. Now, spoken English adding emphasize. We can change the order of words in a sentence to add emphasize. What is the normal word order of these sentences? Okay. My dad, I don't really get on with. He's young at heart. My granddad. She's pretty cool. My mom. Okay. Number two, notice the sentence and emphasize. Me, I'm just her boring baby sister. Chris, he's like my dad. One thing I love about her is her sunny personality. What I like best about her is the way she's so honest about herself. What I like about him is that we have same interests. Okay, so number three, use phrases in two to emphasize what you like about. Okay, number one, here we have some examples. Number one, his sense of humor, that he makes me laugh. Number two, Tina, her kindness, the way she never forgets my birthday. And right here, talking about you guys, who do you feel closest to in your family? Why? Answer these questions in your notebook. Are there any relatives you are not close to? Why? Are there ever any family agreements between who? About what? Okay, so remember, guys, please do not advance if you don't have this exercise finished. Remember, if you have a doubt, a question, or a comment, you can contact me by WhatsApp. Excellent. So now, the everyday English, making the right noises. Okay, so look at the photo. Why do you think they are laughing? Look at the words in the chart. They are all possible responses in the conversation. What do they express? Right in the correct heading. Okay, so we have agreement, sympathy, pleasure, despair. Okay, so we need to put them in the correct heading. Okay, come on. Now, the stress and intonation in phrases like are often quite exaggerated. Listen and repeat them with voice range. Okay, come on. Let's listen and repeat them. Okay, guys, so please listen to them and repeat them.